Hi all you great people. It's the last day of August today and I've got my jumper on. It's cooled down. Autumn has come and it's been a beautiful summer. Really, really, really wonderful. Yeah, here we are in the midst of life. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the darkness on earth and the light on earth. And the other day I was talking about how the new world has come, and the new world is coming from within, so it's an inner, it's the ascension process, the process of becoming these enlightened beings is all something that's going on inside us. And inside, I mean, behind every physical thing, it's happening on an energy level. So it can be very hard to see when you, especially if you open the papers, which I don't do, or look at the news. It's really impossible to see. Because this new world won't just be beautiful from day one. There will be lots of very dramatic things, not very nice things going on the outer level, but it's when you go within. If you tune into yourself, you will sense that you're feeling better deep inside, probably than you ever have. And it might not be for you just as you are right now, but I promise you it's coming. And the more you go within, the more you allow yourself to be in this inner state. Go to your inner child. Go to the place that's quiet within you. The more this will grow. So it's really very much a matter of stepping out of the old, and well, it is all stepping out of the old and into the new. But there's still pain, there's still things going on, we're still in a cleansing process, and it's really the fact that the new world has started. I don't know this for sure, but I just feel it, and I read it, and I feel it very deeply. It's true. This is the first stages of the new world, so everything has to be built up from the very beginning. So, and I was just thinking today, it's just a very personal thing, I'll just share with you. I long for being with people who are joyful and present and loving and warm, and who deeply enjoy to be who they are and to be alive, who deeply enjoy the life they have. And then I thought to myself, well, that's what's all going to come. That's what's going to happen for all of us. All this is waiting for us. And the more, we are the ones who can make it come faster or slower. So the more we allow ourselves to be ourselves, as I've talked about so many times, it's all about allowing yourself to not be the one that you thought you were, or who society wants you to be, and to just be you. And it's challenging. It's very, very challenging. And that's one of the reasons why I don't see the news. And I don't really know what's going on, really, in the world. Because I'm not strong enough. And some people might say, well, she's just closing her eyes to reality. But the thing is, what is reality? What is reality? And to me, reality is that God is within, and we are bringing His light. And the physical world is always a manifestation of what's going on inside us. So the real world to me is the world of light within our hearts, that I wish to help with my little life to manifest as much of this light as possible. And I mean, looking into a flower, that's real. I know it's real, and some say it's not there, it's just really my thoughts. But I mean, in nature, things are what they are. And all the pain, and we can call it darkness, that we're seeing on the earth is the remnants of the darkness that man has created. it's just our own mind that has created this. And I got this other image this morning, that the reason why there's been so much pain, I mean, there's many, many reasons that I don't know of, but the whole thing of we being these very, very highly evolved, beautiful beings coming into Earth, the Earth plane has been like this factory for thousands of years, where we've built these systems up where people are supposed to be in a certain way. If you're a woman, you're supposed to be like this. If you're a man, you're supposed to be like this. You have to do this and this and this and this. Otherwise, will just be shot or just push you away, because you have to fit in. And so I just saw this factory making these metal tools, these, not a screwdriver, it's one of those tightening tools. And you have all these souls coming down to Earth, these beautiful, beautiful beings that are so filled with uniqueness, creativity, light, love, caring, warmth, and an endless ability to create beautiful things on Earth and to co-create with Earth. And they're being stuffed into this factory and spat out the other end as the same tool. There's all these same things. And of course the pain that this causes us, that was squashed into this mold, is immense. And in the process, many of us forget who we were, what we were, and really how painful it was, because all the pain is just squashed into us, and we're these tools who've forgotten all the wisdom of what life is all about. And we actually start fighting for society, so we start becoming a part of this factory, and so we get to stand what we were actually could feel was very, very destructive and very horrible. We become a part of, and we actually we support this system, because we've just become blinded. And of course all these squashed in human beings that have come to Earth have been in very immense pain for so long, and many of us have such low self-esteem that it's very, very, very bad. We've lost our creativity. We simply don't know. I mean, some people can't tie a shoe because we've just lost our ability to really use our hands, listen to our dreams unfold, all this beautiful creativity we bring. And many of us just become really stupid because we've lost connection with our wisdom. So it's really, really, really becoming who we are not. That's what's happened on Earth. And all this pain that's been going on for so long is really stuck in many of us. So all this has to go, and all this has to be cleansed away. And so what I was going to say about the pain and the darkness on Earth, it's expressed in many ways, but depressed people who are actually don't feel joy anymore and have given up, are in a depressive state, are a part of the darkness. Negativity, criticism, blaming others. It can be your children blaming you, once again mentioning it, blaming you year after year, although you've actually listened and cried with them, said sorry. It just keeps coming. It can be your mother, your father complaining about how you're living your life. Why are you so dirty? Why are you so messy? Why? I was just had a contact with a young girl the other day who's being criticized by, the older generation for breastfeeding her child. Why are you doing this? It's stupid. The criticism that's coming at us from all sides is enormous sometimes. And how are we going to how are we going to cope, let alone how are we going to cope, just stay alive, and how are we going to really, really sense this pleasure and this well-being, connect with our soul? Well, it's challenging, for sure. But when we remind ourselves that it's all going on outside, and when we step inside, we don't feel it that much. it's not a matter of pushing it away. It's just a matter of not spending our energy on it. So say it's out there, these people are criticizing me again and again. It's okay, because I'm right here. And when I listen to the voice of my heart, I'm being told I'm beautiful and I'm wonderful. And that it's okay that people criticize me, because they're stuck in the darkness, and the blaming they're in is actually part of their reality as it is right now. And so that's what I wanted to move on to, that part of the pain that's going on, the darkness that's going on earth, is actually necessary. I've said this many times, because it's the only way we're going to clean it out. So people who spend many, many years being very depressed, it can be because they're completely stuck, but it can also be because they simply need to sense this depression, to really feel it in their body, in their life, for it to be cleaned away. And that's really what happens when we go into therapy and really work with ourselves. We need to cry it out. We need to feel the feelings again to really release them. And here comes the whole letting go thing, and saying, I'm here. And that's been a real challenge for me, especially if somebody's suffering in my life, because I just so much wish people to move on and to discover how wonderful their life is and how wonderful they are. And I've just been spending a lot of energy on it all my life, until I realized it has to stop, because these people are exactly where they need to be, because it's their journey. And if we believe that we actually chose our path, we chose this life, and we chose everything we're going to go through, because it's necessary for us to learn, because what we need to learn, and also what we need to clean away, we just have to experience again. So you can't, and you should not, pull anyone anywhere. No matter how sad, no matter how much they're giving up, no matter how much they hate themselves, and that's when, as it says in the Bible, one place, which is very, very, I think, very important and very fundamental for a good life. Give as your heart asks you to. Give as much as your heart asks you to, and no more. So it's really a matter of listening. When we've been helping someone for a while, we feel needs some help, to really listen, to not get grabbed by it, that we have to reach the goal that these people become happy and joyful in their life, but really listen. Have I done what I should do? And often when we've done something, we have to just let it go. So that's been a big one for me, to just accept that people are where they are, although it can seem very, very, very depressing, because it's just needed. And so I have this channeling, which I know a lot of you don't like, or some of you don't like. I think I can see out here in the light. And I think it's Jesus, according to this woman, Jesus who speaks to us. And there's just so much wisdom in this book, Heart-Centered Living. So if you don't want to hear it, you can just switch off the video. See, what Jesus is telling us is that we come here with our soul's passion. And the whole idea is that we bring this soul's passion, our soul's light to the earth, and we have to bring our light forth. So unfold all the light that we come with, and it's really our duty. So when we start moving into this way of being, we feel, we're being so naughty because we're so honest and we're just doing what we really feel our inner child wants. But that's actually doing what we really came here for. The rest is really a waste of time, and it's just doing what everybody else expects. And it's a little chicken coming. She's a bit nervous. Ooh, she didn't like that camera. So Jesus says there's three things that are holding our soul's passion back and making us not feel who we really are and what we really are here for. And one is, as he says, we believe that God is an authority over us, judging us, and that God is not that. God is the flow of life that's everywhere, and it might be the most powerful power there is, which I believe, but it's a loving power. It's not judging us. It wants to work with us. So it's a matter of actually really receiving the love God brings and not being dominated by God or afraid of God. So that's very important according to this. I have mentioned this before, so it's a thing I'm mentioning again. The second idol is that we are, as I was saying before with the factory, we have been blinded by society, and we've been forced to believe that we are something that we are not. So we have to set ourselves free and start to really be honest. Just doubting myself again. And the third one is the one I want to read for you, which I think is a really big one for me. So let's go. The third idol is pitying others and going along with their suffering. There is one other false god, which he calls these three things, which distorts our life, holds our soul's passion away. And this last one, which I would like to mention, and which perhaps preoccupies you most in everyday life, it is pitying your fellow beings, sharing the burden with your dear ones by suffering along with them. Now you may ask, how can that be an idol? Am I not supposed to connect with others, especially my loved ones, and help them if I can? What I'm talking about is a tendency of yours to connect so deeply with people around you that you're drawn into their pain, their problems and negative emotions, and you lose touch with your own core and inner peace. This kind of pity and co-suffering is not your duty. It is not helpful to the other person and does not speak to the truth of who you are. Much of what you call high sensitivity is being so open to other people's energies that it wipes away your own. Your empathy, which is your ability to feel other people's moods and emotions, is in that case insufficiently balanced by the insight that the negative energies in that person belong to them and not to you. You are not realizing clearly enough that this negativity plays a viable role in the other person's life, and that you may enlighten them through your compassion and understanding, but that it does not serve anyone's purpose if you suffer along with them. Of course, you would love to see your dear ones lead happy and fulfilling lives, whether it is your spouse, your child, parent, or friend. You wish they would feel better and that their problems would be solved. Always remember, though, that the problems they have are their own creations. Relationship problems, money issues, health problems, psychological disorders, they all mirror deep-seated inner conflicts within the soul. Somewhere deep down, people want to experience these problems in order to get clear about something. It may seem that they are victims, especially when they are running around in circles over and over again. But often that means they still want to experience some aspect of that problem more thoroughly, and that they are not open yet to your help. If you try to help them anyway, you will easily become pushy and controlling, and you will exhaust your own energy sources. You then give up on surrender as a lifestyle. So what he means is when somebody's very unhappy and you're not supposed to help them, it's really surrendering to that's the way it is right now, and it's okay. So it's living in surrender to life. By giving too much or inappropriately, you waste energy and you chain yourself emotionally to the one you're helping. This makes you dependent on the other person for your sense of well-being. Your emotional energies get mixed up, and this is one of the major causes for loss of strength, vitality, and self-awareness. Few things can break down your energy so easily as a persistent sense of duty, guilt and responsibility for someone else. That's me. All my life. It's a big one. I'll just move out because it's raining. So I'll just find a better spot. Try going under the walnut tree. That's what the animals do. And it's a bit dark. Bit dark in here, a bit wobbly. But we'll try. Okay. In such a helping relationship, power issues often arise, even if no one intended this. By giving too much or inappropriately, the helper in fact rises or tries to cover up an inner emptiness that goes unnoticed if one is preoccupied with someone else. Helping someone else may make you feel stronger and more self-assured. The one who gets all this attention from you experiences this as nice and comfortable, and they soon notice they can influence you with their moods and emotions. They know that if things get worse for them, they get more attention from you because you want them to get well so badly. The sufferer, therefore, senses that they have power over you and that it pays off to remain in the victim role. In such a relationship, a strong energy exchange is taking place, and it will drain the both of you because it is not in alignment with what your souls really want. There's no spiritual truth in the way you are reducing each other to very limiting roles. The helper will eventually get frustrated because the sufferer will not progress enough. It is not in their interest to change, for they have invested in the victim role. And the sufferer gets even more stuck in their victim role. They dig themselves deeper into it, which may completely paralyze them. Both will get angry and blame one another. You easily sympathize with and feel sorry for the people around you, especially light worker souls. You have a deep impulse to spread light and awareness on earth. You are very sensitive to the suffering of others. It is hard for you to see suffering on a global scale. For instance, in regions in the world devastated by poverty or war or the destruction and pollution of the environment. But when it comes to suffering that is close to you in your personal environment, you are affected most profoundly. And it is especially here that you are challenged to take back your power. It is important to realize that you are not helping someone by making yourself smaller. You often think that if you absorb and swallow part of the other person's emotions, you connect deeper to them and therefore help them. It is like you are sharing the burden, but by taking in the other one's problems, you only double the burden. The shadow deepens. By going along with the other person's suffering, your power gets fragmented and shattered by the negativity in them. You will think you are not entitled to be happy. You will think you are not entitled to be happy, peaceful, and satisfied yourself while they are suffering. This is a grave mistake. In actuality, the opposite is true. This is a really big one because many of us are living with people close to us who are suffering a lot. And it is a challenge, it really is a challenge to be joyful, although someone's suffering a lot. It could be your children, it could be your parents. I mean, that's the worst, I think. To be truly helpful to someone means that you put your energy at the service of the solution of the problem, not of the problem itself. To do so, you need to make yourself bigger rather than smaller. The more self-consciousness and independence you radiate, the more you represent the energy of the solution, and the more you can mean for someone else without exhausting yourself. If you are going to suffer with them, you are really only affirming the problem. If you stay centered and calm, not resonating with the heavy emotions of the other, You open up another angle, another way of looking at the problem. Precisely by not resonating with the energy of a problem, you shed new light onto it. True spiritual guidance never involves solving someone else's problem. Rather, it means to be a beacon of light and awareness to them, which mirrors their problems back to them in a way that enables them to take another look at it. It enables them to see meaning and value in the problem. It returns to them a sense of free will and responsibility. Something inside of you touches their heart and inspires them. It is the energy of love. It is the energy of acceptance. In this way, you offer the energy of the solution, in quote, to them, not by doing anything for them, but by being it. That is light work, being your natural self, having peace with yourself and radiating that peace to others. It is not about carrying other people's burdens or finding solutions to their problems. It is about carrying the energy of the solution in your own being and openly sharing it with others. That is the core of your mission on earth, the core of what it means to bring light. I love this. I love this. Being true to yourself, taking good care of yourself, and listening to what your intuition tells you is a prerequisite to anchor the frequency of love to earth. This is what your soul wants for you. Any time you let others run away with your energy or give too much of yourself out of fear or a need to control, a part of your light gets shattered and you will need to recuperate and emotionally heal yourself to regain your natural balance and vitality. Notice how this happens in your everyday life. If you're worrying about other people, about how they perceive you or how you should help them, and your thoughts are going in circles and the same emotions repeat themselves, you are stuck in the rut of fear and control. Often you tend to give away your energy because you think you're making things better, helping people out or solving a problem. But pay attention. Does your contribution really serve the solution of the problem, or does it affirm and thereby perpetuate the problem? Ask yourself whether you aren't really serving an idol instead of your own inner light. Trying to control things often seems right and sensible, but often it is just fear that forces you to. You frequently feel tired and exhausted from all your all your exertions in different areas of your life, but often you stick to it and feel that you are obliged to put even more energy into it. You think you owe it to someone, to some organization, to society, or even to God. But any time you feel emotionally exhausted, pushing it too far, it is really time to let go and find some quiet space for yourself. It is time to let go of the world and turn within. Cutting the cords for a while and reconnecting to your inner child is of great importance to remain centered and balanced. By connecting to the child, you also awaken the angelic you, the keeper of the child. You connect to your lower self and higher self. And by feeling them inside and listening to them carefully, you start to sense how they can play together joyfully in your present. It becomes clear what things you need to do or pursue to become centered and peaceful again. Oh, I love this. So, it's all just so good, and it's a real challenge. I reckon it's a real challenge if you're one of those people who just really, really feels with others' pain, and you wish for them to be joyful, as it's just a part of my life and just being me. I have really had to learn to let go and let people be really sad for a very long time and just relax there. So if you could use this, that's wonderful. So take care, my friend. See you.